Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leathercraft, and this is the Leather Element. If you've got a good question for us, or a good idea for a Leather Element, drop it in the comment box below. Now this week we're going to talk about a critical point, our time. And this is funny because I always say this, we as crafters have this bizarre habit of turning our craft into a profitable side or full-time business. Cool, not the problem. Here's the problem. As crafters, we're not really concerned how much time it takes to produce a job or a project. Well, when we jump over to production, that becomes critical because our labor is going to be a large part of our selling price. If our selling price is too high, we're not going to sell a single thing. Now we can do that, and we can do it without sacrificing our quality. And you're going to be surprised how. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this as a perfect example. This is a mystery braid keychain. So to get this ready to assemble, what I'm going to have to do is cut out my blank, then I'm going to have to drop in my rivet holes, I'm going to have to drop in my end punches, and then the most time-consuming part, I'm going to have to cut 2 parallel consistent slits down the middle of a thin strap. That's frustrating, and it takes time to get it just right, okay? With something like this, small project, I can get this ready to assemble in about 2 minutes. Well, that doesn't sound like much, but it's a low-end product, low cost. So therefore, that can be a lot. Now, would you believe me if I told you we can do all of that in 4 seconds? Yeah, I wouldn't believe me either. But we've got a piece of equipment that is going to do exactly that. So let's step over here and take a look at what we call the Mighty Wonder. Now, if you're new to leather, you've probably heard the term a clicker or a clicker die. That's just a die press, our clicker and our clicker die. All right, let's start simple. But to me, this is one of the best uses for a clicker. I've got a piece of scrap here. Probably going to end up throwing that away. Too small to use. Well, I paid for it. I hate to toss it. So let's do this. Let's take a key fob die. Got my cutting edge and my round holes. I'm going to drop that in on my cutting bed. I'm going to swing the cutting head over and watch this. Does it even sound like I cut anything? No. In fact, look at that. Beautiful key fob. Very cool. I just turned scrap into money. Right there, same key fob, but all I've done is add a concho and a split ring. Again, scrap to money. We paid for it, let's use it. Right here, this is a pair of earrings, and there's an earring die. How cool is that? Okay, let's do this one more time because this is going to make a good point. Let's drop that in. Again, we're going to cut another fob out of that same piece of scrap. All right, there's our fob, but here's the point. You know what? I don't mind throwing that away. That doesn't bother me at all, okay? Let's step up to our mystery braid keychain because this brings up 2 points. First off, I can cut 2 ways with this. Now, with this, notice my die is a little bit longer than my cutting head. So what I can do is I can punch, turn my head, and punch again. Or, a little bit more difficult, harder to keep this lined up. But if I've got a longer die, I can punch, I can scoop my die and punch again. Again, a little bit more difficult, but it can be done. All right, so let's just drop this in on our cutting bed at an angle, catty corner. Gonna spin that around. There we go. Whoop, a little more pressure needed there because we've got a lot more cutting edge on that. But let's lift that out. There's our die. How cool is that? I don't even know if that took 4 seconds. Consistent slits, end punches, and round holes. Now, I said 2 points here because this is another big point. We've got a clicker. Where are we going to get our die? You know what? We make dies. We make custom and we make standard. Our key fobs, earrings, in fact, there's a little boot and a heart. These are standard dies that we make, but we can also make custom dies. In fact, there's the original drawing for this die. Very cool. How efficient is this piece of equipment both for scrap and for time? Okay, we're not done yet. What we're going to do now is we're going to drop in an impression. We can drop in our logo, a maker's mark, tooling, stamping, matters not. So I'm going to take an impression die. Notice I've got a couple pieces of leather on that because I need to raise the height of that. But the only adjustment on this piece of equipment is right here. So what this will do, I can spin that down and that's going to lower my head. So therefore, wet leather, let's don't forget that. I've wet my leather, just like I would if I were tooling. Let's turn our head, drop that down, turn that back, and look at that. American made by Weaver Leather. Is that not cool? What an incredible time-saving piece of equipment. Now, a couple more points, like we need more, right? But did you notice? No compressor running in the background. We don't have to buy additional equipment to operate our 4-ton. We also don't have to spend money on our shop electrical to bump that up to 220. Totally hand operated. Now, big point, one more, promise, last. These are not only American made, but we make these in-house from scratch. Weaver quality, Weaver durability. So when you're ready to jump from craft to business, we've got exactly the equipment you need to do that. I hope this is good information for you. Thanks for taking time to watch The Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.